皆様、こんにちは。NRW.Global Business Online Series NRW Cities and Regions ドイツと欧州でのビジネスチャンス、この地でスタートへようこそ。Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NRW Global Business Online Series NRW Cities and Regions Germany, in Germany and Europe, your business starts here. My name is Georg Löer. 私、Georg Löer でございます。I represent NRW Global Business Japan here in Tokyo. 私たちのこのシリーズのきっかけとなったのは、ノートライン・ヴェストファーレン州と東京都とのコーポレーションプロジェクトでございます。今年の5月31日に東京都とノートライン・ヴェストファーレン州がサインした MOU をベースに、これから都内の中小企業がノートライン・ヴェストファーレンへビジネスを展開することを支援します。それと同時に、ノートライン・ヴェストファーレン州の中堅企業、中小企業が日本にビジネスを展開するときも支援いたします。この東京都とノートライン・ヴェストファーレンが協力するプロジェクトは、私たちにとって極めて重要なプロジェクトでございます。そこで、ノートライン・ヴェストファーレン州からは、6つの都市と1つの地域が参加いたします。アーヘン、ボーホン、Köln, Düsseldorf, Essen, Krefeld、そしてRhein、Neuss、連合、地域連合です。で、ちょうどこのシリーズの真ん中にボーホム市が登場いたします。右側にはボーホム市の素晴らしい市役所が見られます。本日のプログラムでございますが、まず、私の後に NRW Global Business 社アジア・オーストラリア部長アストリッド・ベッカーが挨拶していただきます。それから、その次、都市地域連合の紹介、ボーホム市というテーマで、ボーホム市経済振興公社技術イノベーション部長のヨハネス・ポイリングにお話を賜りたいと思います。その後、Q&A セッションも予定しております。皆さんに挨拶する前に、Zoom の機能についてもう一回説明いたしますが、質問のある方は Q&A ボタンを使ってください。後ほどディスカッションに参加したい方は手を挙げてください。それから通訳機能がついていますので、日本語か英語を選びください。技術的な問題等がございましたら、チャット機能をお使いください。 So, let me first welcome our speaker of today from Bochum, Mr. Peuling, Mr. Voss. Please join us.
Konnichiwa. Good morning.
Yeah.
Hello.
You want to put your video on? I should also put my video on, sorry.
No, now it works.
Yeah, excellent.
Hello.
So, Mr. Peuling and your colleague, Mr. Marcel Voss, is also here today in charge of communications at your company. And as always in this series, Astrid Becker from NRW.Global Business in Düsseldorf. So we look forward to an interesting presentation and discussion from you today. And I would now first like to ask Ms. Becker to give us her word of greetings. Ms. Becker, please.
Yes, thank you very much. Good afternoon and good morning to Tokyo from North Rhine-Westphalia. Dear ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining this webinar of our NRW Cities and Regions series. We hope that with these seminars, we can give a good impression of the welcoming culture for Japanese small and middle enterprises and the high potential of business opportunities in North Rhine-Westphalia. Today, we want to focus on the city of Bochum. The city of Bochum is the 6th largest city of North Rhine-Westphalia and one of the 20 largest cities of Germany. It is located right at the core of the Rhine-Ruhr metropolitan region, the economic region and urban agglomeration along the rivers Rhine and Ruhr in North Rhine-Westphalia that still today is the industrial heart of Germany. Around 11 million people live in the 20 independent cities and 10 districts that build this region, and the city of Bochum is strongly intertwined with this dynamic ecosystem. The Chamber of Commerce and Industry located in Bochum, for example, covers 27,500 member enterprises, which are located also beyond the city borders. The industrial history of Bochum is very old, as coal mining in the area dates back to the 15th century. At the end of the 19th century, Bochum received a great push into the accelerating industrialization of Germany, becoming a center of coal mining, coking plants, and the steel industry. From the start, Bochum has been a city of entrepreneurial spirit and innovation. Industrial history was made there, for example, when the company Bochumer Verein for the first time in history succeeded in casting steel into molds in the late 1840s. Throughout its history, Bochum and its entrepreneurs have coped successfully with structural change that came along with the downturn of the coal and steel industry and the upturn of new industries and business in Europe. Thanks to this forward-thinking mindset, Bochum is in the post-war period quickly developed into a modern cultural and industrial center. In 1962, for example, General Motors chose Bochum as location for the 3 new Opel plants of Adam Opel AG. They became the symbol of the change into a city of engineering industries like automotive and machine building. At the same time, the city began already to foster the development into a city of technology, service industries, and culture that it is today. The Ruhr University Bochum, also founded in 1962, as the first university to be founded in Germany after the Second World War, is an important building block of this strategy. The University of Bochum today is one of the largest universities in Germany with over 42,000 students from 130 countries and has a strong focus on natural sciences and engineering sciences. An additional strength lies in the cross-faculty R&D activities. 9 universities with 21 faculties secure the future of the city by fostering the technology and knowledge transfer of science into business and industry. Examples of the concentrated scientific competence are to be found in the IT sector and in the medical and health sector. The IT industry has developed powerfully in the recent years, and along with it, the university's Institute for IT Security, the Horst Goertz Institute. It is nowadays the unique and largest university institute for IT security at European level. Bochum is also home to numerous IT security companies, including the global player G-Data. The University Hospital of the Ruhr University Bochum consists of an association of 8 university clinics and other affiliated facilities of the university, including 16 interdisciplinary medical competence centers. The Clinic of Bergmannsheil gained special public attention in Germany and Japan through the cooperation with the Japanese innovative company Cyberdyne regarding the market approbation of HAL exoskeleton, which is now in use at the Center for Neuronal Mobility Training for the rehabilitation of paraplegic patients in Bochum. The city of Bochum has been strongly committed to the development of the healthcare industry for several years. An essential aspect there is the development of the Bochum Health Campus, which combines public health facilities with a business park in order to offer companies the best possible framework for developing and implementing innovative care and solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope with my short introduction, I could raise your curiosity regarding the city of Bochum as business location. Therefore, I hand now back to Mr. Löer for his introduction of our partner and presenters today, Mr. Peuling and Mr. Voss. Thank you very much for your attention.
どうもありがとうございました、ベッカーさん。Thank you so much for this wonderful greeting. これからはボーホムの経済振興公社のポイリングさんに話を賜りたいと思います。まずはポイリングさんとその公社の紹介をさせていただきます。主なサービス事業は後ほどまたご自分で紹介されるかと思いますが、ポイリングさんは2014年からボーホム市経済振興公社にて技術イノベーションの部長をしております。で、ボーホム技術研究所にてマネージングダイレクターもしております。ポイリングさん、now the floor is yours. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Löer. Thank you very much, Ms. Becker. Konnichiwa, good morning, and good afternoon to Tokyo. Yeah, so thank you for this brilliant greeting, Ms. Becker. And I just want to go in some more details in the presentation of Bochum. And what I wanted to tell you is there are 3 things. The first thing is to give you an overview of the city of Bochum. And the second should be to give you that overview of innovation and technological fields in Bochum, and also the economic development in Bochum. So what we are going to do, I want to tell you something about our self-conception, of our self-understanding, and of course, what is happening. And as Ms. Becker said, so the structural change we made in the last year, we have in Germany that nickname, which is called City of Change. So that is what Bochum is going to do and has done in history. Click. So the city of Bochum, that's what it's all about. And that is our self-conception and our self-understanding. Is knowledge is our most valuable resource we have. As you see, Bochum is the knowledge and research location in the Ruhr metropolis. As Ms. Becker just told you, we have 1 university and 8 university of applied sciences and more than 50,000 companies located here in Bochum. And we have a strong startup community, and of course the proximity of research and teaching to business establishes. So we work together, and that is what we are going. That is also our strength, so that we can work together and match together those both parts of economy and science. As you see on the right side, we have 9 universities. That's what I told you just before. But as Ms. Becker said, we have about 42,000 students at the Ruhr University. But on the other hand, we have, together with all the other universities of applied sciences, more than 60,000 students. And so we are on ranking number 2 in North Rhine-Westphalia and number 6 in Germany. As part of the Ruhr Metropolis, we are just, of course, in the middle of it. But what is very important for you and for small and middle enterprises is the large and big markets we have just in front of the door, with these 53 cities and more than 5 million people living here in the Metropolis Ruhr. Click. The next what I want to show you are some numbers and some data and facts of Bochum. You see we have nearly 400,000 inhabitants. That was also Ms. Becker just told you before. But what is very also important is we have 130,000 employees. We say work on the future. That means that they are working for the change we did and what we are going, or where we are going into the future. And also the largest and biggest companies were just told from Ms. Becker, that is British Petrol, it is Vonovia, it is Bosch, like eScript, and also Volkswagen, where the new field, which is called infotainment, that means just to create and develop embedded systems for cars. And of course, G-Data is the biggest company in cyber defense. We're really centrally located. You know, the airport to Düsseldorf is about it's a 40 minutes way to get there. And also we have got a good structure for trains and also for cars. So, and the last point that you can see here is that we are the startup center in the Ruhr area. We have more than 200 young companies who are putting their business ideas into practice here, because we call us a living lab, so that we can develop and work together with the science, and that is the support for our small and middle enterprises. What I wanted to show you now is a short overview about the city Bochum, so why it is worth living it. You see it, we call it in Germany Bermuda Dreieck, which means Bermuda Triangle, and the triangle means that you can dive into this nightlife, and maybe you will stay there and will come back after only in a few days. So that is a little joke, but it's really the center of nightlife in the Ruhr Metropolis, because in this part we have more than 100 restaurants, bars, clubs, and so on. So that is good for your free time. Click. Mr. Löer, to click. Yes, thank you very much. Besides the economic fields, I will give you some words about the surroundings we have here in Bochum. We have a very low cost of living, so which means we have the substandard cost. For example, for flat rates, we are about 6 to 10 euros a square meter, and that is very low. And we are very good in culture. So we have the largest open air city music festival in Germany, and one of the most successful musicals worldwide, which means Starlight, or which is Starlight Express. And after a period of 1.5 years, because of the pandemic of Corona, it opened this weekend, and it was very successful. It was full. So we are going back to usual and normal life in Bochum. And what is also popular in Germany, of course, is the theater Schauspielhaus. So click. The next step, yes, which I want to show you, are the innovation fields. We have here in Bochum, we have about 5, we call them innovation fields. 5 innovation fields. The one is health economy, it is IT security, it is digital mobility, it is production economics, and the latest one is smart city. So in the ranking in Germany, we are now in the top 10 of the most smart cities in Germany, and that is very successful for us, because 2 years ago we are on by ranking on number 32, and now we are in the top 10 in Germany. So I think that's also a point of our change we did in the last years, and which makes us very proud what is happening here in Bochum. And I think the largest and the biggest and most important innovation fields are health economy and IT security. And that will be the focus of the presentation in the next slides. Click. Yeah, we we call ourselves the leading market in the health economy for the development and testing of technological, logistical and structural medical innovations. That means that we want to be a living lab. And in the history, we are that living lab for new procedures and products in medicine. As you see, 20% of all employees in Bochum are working in the healthcare industry or in the health economy. And that is one of the highest percentages throughout Germany. In Germany, we are about 18%. So that is the average quota in Germany. And the specialization for us is smart health, data and medical IT, and also neurology, because that is these are the three branches or the three parts where we focus our specialization and where we are very strong. And I will give you in the next slides 3 examples of what we are doing here. So those 3 examples of our specialization. So the first one is smart health data, and it is medical IT. We have so many many SMEs in Bochum. As you saw the picture before, that was the health campus Bochum with about 100,000 square meters ground. And I think there are about 70 to 80% of companies working in that field. The Kairos company is one of our examples, which it was now acquired from an US company. And they are working, for example, in the field of diagnostic, of sepsis, or even now of COVID-19, and they are working together with the science and with the Ruhr University Hospital in Bochum, and they are looking for a way just how to diagnostic sepsis and how to therapy or how therapies will go also with COVID-19 and especially for long COVID, and that is based on medical IT, and it is based on data structure. The second one is neurology and rehabilitative prosthetics, and yeah, it is well known in Germany, and we are very proud of that. Mr. Sanka invested here in Bochum with his Cyberdyne Care Robotics. He makes the clinical study together with the Ruhr University Hospital, and I think you all know him. It's a nerve-guided exoskeleton, which is used in the treatment of patients with spinal cord injuries. And he is very successful, and it's also part of our innovation structure we have here in Bochum. And he also stands for this structural change we have. And the third one, which is also very important, is the protein diagnostic and bioanalytics. You see here, it's the Center for Protein Diagnostics, which is a subsidiary of the Ruhr University, but also supported by companies, pharmacy companies. And it is addressed, what he's searching there is addressed to neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer. And it's also based on data structure. And So it is the leading person is Professor Gerbert, and for him now it is possible to diagnostic Alzheimer 6 years before you get the first medical indication. And so we are and he is very hopefully that we will have drugs just to stop Alzheimer before you get that indication, and that would be very important for us and also for our location here in Bochum. So these are 3 examples just to show you that we are living in that, or that we're working in that living lab, and that we will support procedures and also projects and products in medicine. Click. And the next one is the conclusion of all what I just told you before. So here again, you have the key focuses from smart health data, neurology, until to education and training, recruiting and retaining specialist staff. So that is something that I didn't mention before. But here we have, for example, B. Brown, who built up an academy here 7 years ago. And also important is the locally oriented healthcare solutions, which means to build up living labs in living districts. And what we become, our aim, so that's the last sentence in this slide, our aim is to become Germany's leading smart health location for testing a full range of healthcare innovations. That is what we are standing for. So on the next one, the next slide will give a short introduction into IT security. We say we are on the path to become Europe's #1, and we say it with self-assurance. And why do we do that? Here are some arguments for that, and you see them in the next slides. It's not only the Ruhr University with all its students, but it is the location, and we have the largest university, and it's the location for IT security, because we have here more students than in whole Germany together who are learning, who are educated in IT security. As Ms. Becker said, that is the Horst Goerz Institute, who was the first institute with its focus on IT security. And with the support of the science and the support of the Bochum economic development, there were many startups now here in Bochum. We have about more than 40 startups in the IT security sector, and that are the most startups in Europe you will find. And the first of all, that was G-Data Cyber Defense in 1987, was long ago, but they were the first who developed an antivirus software. I think nobody knows that they are located here in Bochum, but it was worldwide, and that's true, worldwide the first antivirus software was created here and developed here in Bochum. And one of the latest successes we had was that we are home of the European Competence Center for Information Technology Security. It is Eurobits. It's a conclusion of many companies, and we are also with our company part of this Eurobits society. And the latest one was the Competence Center for Cybersecurity, which means Digital Secure NRW. Click. And as I did in the healthcare, I also will give you a short 3 examples of IT security, a small selection. The first one you see, it is eScript. It's a spin-off of that Horst Goerz Institute, which I mentioned before. And it was now acquired by Bosch, and they also invested now here in Bochum, and especially in the field of automotive security. So, and that is, for example, very important for Volkswagen Infotainment, which is a subsidiary of Volkswagen, who invested here in Bochum also 4 or 5 years ago. The second one is the company is also an SME. It's VMware, who cooperates, protect numerous corporate and government networks. So that is also a special field of the IT security. So that means that IT security is not only focused for the security of emails, but also of products and also for embedded systems. And one of the most successful SMEs and startup is FISEC, with a unique combination of applied cryptography and communications engineering. So that is something that we are also very proud of, because it's a partner of our economic development, and we will go together with them into the future. Click. And here are 3 examples of the IT security research. The Horst Goerz Institute, Ms. Becker also mentioned before, but it's not only education part, but here also working more than 200 scientists for solutions of tomorrow in the IT security. We have here more than 1,000 students and more than 26 professors. Very new, that was an investment in the last years, the Max Planck Institute for Security and Privacy, which are now also located here in Bochum. And yes, they work also together with our small and middle enterprises here, but it is the Institute for whole Germany. And last but not least is the Center for Advanced Internet Studies, which is called CEST. This research is conducted in the area of social opportunities. So not only technological in Bochum, but also social opportunities and challenges of the digital transformation. And that is also part of the government of North Rhine-Westphalia in partnership with the Ruhr University, and we also support that center. So that's what I wanted to show you, is that digitalization and security are united in Bochum with all fields of technological and social parts. And of course, it is with the partners in the metropolitan region and the metropolis Ruhr here in Bochum. So again, we have these innovation fields, and in those innovation fields, we have different ecosystems. Like I just want to call it, it's the Health Campus Agency. We have the Eurobit Society. We have a society called Ruhr Mobile E. It's the Innovation Network Production, and it's the Smart City Innovation Unit. And in all of those societies, we are in leading positions. So that means the economic development. And that's why we call it sustainable and innovative, because we are part of this ecosystem. Click. And I will give you now a short overview about the tasks and services we have in with our economic development. Of course, that's what I told you before. We support startups, and we also develop innovative sites, because we said that innovation needs space. So we offer companies space, and that is a very good position for us, because we are owner not only of fields, but also of technological centers here in Bochum. And of course, we support your business. We are looking for example, for financing, how to come to money. Is there public foundation possible, and so on. That is also our task that we have to do. And last but not least, and it's also important, just to organize events. So we organize our own events and trade fairs, but we also organize events for companies, because small and middle enterprises, they don't have that money, for example, just to organize that. And that is what we can offer you today. And the last one is that we are also working in urban and economic development. So that means that we are all in all these fields, we all work together hand in hand with the public government of North Rhine-Westphalia, of Germany, and with the city of Bochum. But we are an own company, which is a subsidiary of the city of Bochum. Click. Here we have, again, 3 examples. And yeah, it is also founded of our technological centers we have here in Bochum, that we can support those activities. For example, we have a biomedicine center for medicine. We have an IT security center. We have a technological and startup center in Bochum, and also a creative and cultural center, and even technological center Ruhr. And we are of these centers, we are also owners. So, and that is where we can support you, for example, with space, but also support in your business. And the three examples are, the first one is Mark 51.7. As Ms. Becker told in her greeting words, that General Motors invested here in Bochum in 1962, and they left us some years ago. And that field where or the ground where they were settled, we now call it Mark 51.7. And that is a very new technological field for us. It's a huge 70-hectare site, and it's a technological field like the health campus, which I just showed you before. And what we do is there to organize the structure, to acquire companies. And I can tell you that every square meter that is developed new from our company, it's we can sell. So it is developed, and a few minutes later it is sold. So it's a very successful part that we are doing there. The other one is it's Werk X, which means in English it is Factory X. So that is our innovative startup incubator that also belongs to us, and there we also give this support for young or small and middle enterprise, and of course, and for young companies. And the last one, which I just listed here, is the Vonovia, which is the largest housing company in Germany. There was a fusion with other housing companies. It's also, I think now it is 6 years ago, and then we came together, and we're also looking for a new structure. We were looking for new ground where they can settle, and we are very lucky that they stayed here in Bochum. But I think it also belonged to how we could support them and offer them the space they needed. Click. So, your audience, thank you very much for your attention, and yeah, I'm very happy to get acquainted with you. If you have any questions, I hope I can give you some answers. And I said, arigato.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Poiling. Poiling-san, domo arigato gozaimashita. Now we move on to the Q&A session. これから Q&A セッションに移りたいと思います。So, just a second. 少々お待ちください。So, please, Ms. Becker, also, if you want to come back. Welcome, Mr. Jansen, my colleague from NRW.Global Business in Düsseldorf. Yeah, Mr. Poiling, a lot has happened in Bochum, and a lot is happening, going on. We see exciting new companies. Bochum is the healthcare hub of the Ruhrgebiet, with many innovative companies, some of them who are also collaborating closely with Japan. There is the internet digital cybersecurity group of companies, one must say, with major players like G-Data, but also eScript and VMRay, yeah. So it's really quite impressive. So I understand that you also have very close relationships to Japan. Last time we met in Tsukuba. Now, due to Corona, this exchange maybe is a little bit muted, but maybe you can tell us a little bit about your relations with Tsukuba.
Yeah, thank you for the question, and I can have the chance just to tell you something about this partnership. Yes, it began in 2019, where the cooperation was signed with from the leaders of Tsukuba and Bochum, and it is a technological partnership with Tsukuba, those both cities, and we also have a partnership with the Ruhr University and the University of Tsukuba. And the third partnership that we have here in Bochum is the partnership between the Ruhr University and the Tokyo University. So that is, I think, it's a good ground, a good point just where we can start again. And of course, it was muted because of the Corona, but we have been close together in those, also in these months, and it's now 18 or 19 months that we couldn't come together physical, but of course we held the line, and we talked about some project that we could do together. So yes, there's a link to Japan, and also in the Tokyo metropolitan government region, and yeah, I hope that we can now, when Corona is yeah, I hope so in future, not in the center of our working and doing life, so that we can come together again, and we'll give them a new support, so that we will create new projects. And that is also from our lead major, who's very who is yeah, supporting that, and is also looking forward just to come together and to strengthen that cooperation.
Yeah, I remember your mayor, Mr. Eiskirch, was very supportive of the activities or the founding of Cyberdyne in Bochum. At the time in 2010, I met him, and we made plans for Cyberdyne to come to Bochum, and actually, it was in, I think, May 2011, despite the earthquake, that the company was, first company was founded in Bochum. Actually, today yes, we also have Motoaki Komiya-san on board here in the meeting. Komiya-san, if you would like to join us, please feel free to join us. Yeah. Also, we have Ms. Uta Hohn, Vice President of the Ruhr-Universität Bochum here, who is also very actively engaged in the relation with Tsukuba University. And recently, I heard that your Hochschule für Gesundheit, the I don't know what it's, forgot what it's called in English. University yeah,
healthcare
for professional healthcare, which is very unique in
that's right,
in Germany, is now also communicating and planning to cooperate with Professor Matsumura from the Ibaraki Prefectural University of Health Services. Yeah, so there are a lot of interesting activities there. And today also we have Mr. Watanuki from Ibaraki Prefecture has also joined the discussion. Yeah, so that's great.
Yeah, thank you very much. Maybe in addition to what you said,
yeah,
was, for example, is the Cyberdyne. I think in 2010, as you mentioned, or 2011, I think nobody knew in Tsukuba, beside the Ruhr University, of course, what is Bochum,
Yeah.
and what it's all about Bochum. And I think it was very, very good when Mr. Schildhauer from the Ruhr University, who was a partner of the hospital, the Ruhr University hospital called Bergmannshall here in Bochum, when he went to Cuba and met Mr. Sankei, that they could create that project, which was called Man-Machine Interface Robot Suit.
Yeah.
To not only to create, but also to do it here in Bochum. And I'm not that really sure, but I think that after his investment, he made the IPO from Bochum.
Yes, exactly.
So I think that's so. It's not. I think it's not. Or it's a good place for.
Komiya-san.
Yeah.
Komiya-san,
Yes.
can you hear
Good
us?
morning. Yes.
Morning.
Good morning, Löer-san.
O genki desu
Becker-san.
ka?
Hi, genki desu.
Yeah. So maybe you want to tell us a little bit about Cyberdyne. You are very active. I see you on LinkedIn. You are very active working for Cyberdyne. I think it's great. So what's happening at Cyberdyne in Bochum?
Yes. As you know, we have been working with gemeinsamer Bundesschutz in order to get approval for insurance reimbursement for the patients, which is ultimate goal of Cyberdyne. It is a long process, but thanks to all of your support and foreign invest, we have been continue in communicating with GBA. So actually recently we additionally send them a couple new studies which they supposed to come back to us within a few months. So hopefully that will give us a good news that we will able to proceed to national-wide randomized control, which is led by GBA itself, which will be really exciting moment for us. So I'm working on that, and hopefully to report to you with the great news soon.
Yeah, thank you, Komiya-san. We all wish you great success, continued success. I think you are doing an excellent job in Bochum. And Peuling-san, maybe you want to comment?
Yeah, just want to say thank you very much for your activities. And if you need any support from us, so don't hesitate to call me. And we also had good connection to the. I think he's also CEO. It's Uwe Brockmann in Bochum, and but if you need also or some support from us, please contact me. So, and
thank you.
Of course,
so
good
much.
luck and so much success. And thank you very much to be here in Bochum.
Yeah.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Yeah, I don't know whether Ms. Hohn wants to join the conversation. Maybe she's not. Oh,
no.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
loud and clear.
Good morning. Good morning, Ms. Hohn.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Peuling. Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
So, as you already mentioned, Mr. Löer, I'm the Vice President for Planning and Structure of Ruhr University. And I can emphasize that Ruhr University is very eager to strengthen and further develop the relationship with Japanese university. And our main partner in this relationship between the University Bochum and the Science City Tsukuba is not only the University of Tsukuba, but the whole innovation ecosystem. So we are very eager to develop relationships in the context of public-private academic partnerships with innovation systems in Japan. And you also mentioned our close friendship with Tokyo University. It's a very old relationship from the 1960s. So 2 years ago, we celebrated the 50th anniversary of this partnership. And to show our willingness to strengthen the relationships, we had the RUB Japan International Science Days in the year 2018. And the topic was Society 5.0. And we think that the challenges we share in our both societies are very similar, and it is very worth to cooperate, not only in the field of digitalization, smart city development, but also in the field of health care, as Mr. Pauling mentioned, because in the demographic change, we face the challenges of aging societies, for example. And the very big topic for the future will be how we can cope with climate change, for example, and how we can find innovative solutions to steer and to develop this new great transformation we are facing in the coming years. So I only want to say that the Ruhr University, and I think all the other universities for applied sciences, are very much interested to develop the cooperation with partners in Japan further in the future. And after the Corona crisis, we really hope that face-to-face cooperation will be possible again, and that delegations from Japan might visit Bochum perhaps next year. Thank you very much.
That's great news. Thank you. I think that's also, we also, of course, have several participants today from the Tokyo Metropolitan Government on this call, and I think that's a good sign that Bochum is ready to receive these small and medium enterprises from Tokyo, and to develop the relationship further. Herr Pauling, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you, Ms. Hohn. I think, it's that strong collaboration we have with the Ruhr University, as well as with the other universities of applied sciences, but especially with the Ruhr University. I think that's the key of the success. As you, Ms. Becker, just told about the change we did in history and what is just in front of us, I think this collaboration also with the view of the partnership with Tokyo or Tsukuba, that is that we're working together, and that we can create those projects and innovative projects, and as Ms. Hohn said, that we can include the whole ecosystems we have on both sides. And yeah, so Ms. Hohn also would like to thank you for this collaboration, and that's something that was not in history, not every day, not in the 70s, for example, but it's now the way of our success. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, one area I think where Bochum is also very strong is the material science, Materialwissenschaften. We, of course, as you know, Japan is very strong in many aspects of new innovative materials. And I remember that attending one of the web talks of the nano micro Werkstoffe photonics cluster, that there was a startup company from Bochum, which also was a spin-off, I think, of the Ruhr University Bochum, that which showed me that this area is also quite a strong area for Bochum. And obviously, since Japan is quite strong in this area, this might also be a future area of cooperation. And yeah, so yeah, are there any other questions? I don't see here from our staff. Yeah, Herr Pauling.
Yeah, Mr. Löer, think with the view of this material sciences,
Mhm.
Ms. Hohn, maybe you can help me, but I think we have about six chairs in the Ruhr University of material sciences, and they themselves call them Champions League, and I think that's right what they are doing there. Ms. Hohn, I hope I'm right what I just told.
Yes, material science is a very important field, and I think a field of the future for the development of the Ruhr University. And I may say that we are striving to develop a new excellence cluster in material sciences for the next round of the excellence strategy of universities in Germany. As you know, we have two excellence clusters at the moment in chemistry. It's solvation sciences and the IT security excellence cluster. And we made a survey, and we think that we are really strong in material sciences. And we also have a special research building, we call it. So special centers. You mentioned the Prodi research building on the campus, on the health campus, but we have other so-called research buildings sponsored by the federal government for excellent research clusters, and material science is one of them. Between the other one I would like to mention is the cluster of neuroscience. It's also very important.
For sure.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea if you, in the course of our cooperation with Tokyo Metropolitan Government also, maybe you could invite the Japanese chamber from Düsseldorf with their members to Bochum to also meet your people in these different areas, because probably despite Bochum being so close to Düsseldorf, it is still, some of these things are not yet that well known in the Japanese business community. And if you meet the Japanese Chamber of Commerce, or if you meet people from JETRO, they are also very good at communicating these capabilities you have and potential partnerships you can offer to their clients and their member companies. So that may be something. Ms. Becker, what do you think?
Yes, thank you very much. I think all that we have heard today just ensures us in our idea that we should support Bochum to become more popular and more known in Japan, because it is really a very innovative city. Of course, an important pillar is the Ruhr University with all the faculties that they have. But I think also with all the enterprises that are located there and that build just a very good ecosystem for building business relationships, and also for making this, our slogan, cooperation for innovation, true. And we are very thankful that we have such a strong partner in our cooperation partnership with Tokyo. And yes, we would like to very much to build on what we have learned today and help Bochum Development Agency also to grow with this idea. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Becker. I think that's a very nice closing for today's event. And Herr Peuling, thank you once again for the great presentation you have shown us. And the next step is Köln, as they say, or Cologne, or Köln, as they say in Japan. And we will see you tomorrow at the same time, same place, and look forward to hear about Cologne. And if you have any questions here in Tokyo or in Düsseldorf, please do not hesitate to contact us. 皆さん、どうもありがとうございました。今日はこう1時間でボホムについてのお話ができて大変良かったと思います。また明日、ケルンに一緒に出かけましょう。楽しみにしております。それでは皆さんごきげんよう。明日まで お元気で。はい、失礼いたします。Thank you. Bye bye.